Hi everyone, namaste, good evening. This is Ekktaa. I just wanted to see if I'm audible and visible. So help me in the chat section, please. Just by commenting a hi or a good evening or good morning. Okay, so I can see a good evening there. Hi, good evening. Yes, so today is Tava-mitram's another panel discussion. I believe it is the 10th panel discussion in the series Mental Health Matters. And today is a very, very interesting topic. So before I go ahead and tell you more about the topic, I would start with letting you know who are we, what do we do. So thank you so much for confirming I'm audible and visible. So thank you. So let me quickly tell you more about us. Tava-mitram is a non-profit initiative that aims at raising mental health awareness across the globe. So the idea took shape in 2016 and was founded on 15th of June 2016 by Dr. Paris and me. So we have a team of roughly 50 to 60 members who act as Mitra coaches and Mitra volunteers. And let me tell you, the aim of this platform is to create congruency in thinking, feeling, and action. This year, in the month of May 2020, we launched a knowledge-based series, My Mental Health, My Priority. And this series at spreading mental health knowledge at no cost. Mental Health Day, we yes, we will be keeping you particular. On 10th of October, we celebrated World Mental Health Day. Mitram has planned a series of panel discussion this month, which is known as Mental Health Matters. And yes, today is our 10th discussion, which is Mental Health for Women, W for Warrior, W for Women. Yes, the name itself is very, very powerful. And let me tell you, we have a beautiful and wonderful panel, not only from India, but also from Cyprus today. So before I move on to the panel, let me introduce you to the wonderful person who is going to be the moderator for today's session. It gives me an immense pleasure to introduce Dr. Paris. Hi, Dr. Paris. Namaste. Good evening to you.
Hi, namaste. Good evening, Ekktaa. And such a wonderful topic. I'm so amazed to moderate this program on mental health for women. I like the topic W for warrior and W for women.
Thank you, Paris. So let me quickly go ahead and introduce Dr. Paris. I know you've been listening to him and listening to me from a long time. But Dr. Paris is the co-founder of Tava-mitram, which is a non-profit initiative by Inner Universe Education Foundation. He has over 16 plus years of experience in life, executive, and leadership coaching, mentoring, and behavioral training intervention. He ranks number 7 as a master certified coach in India at the age of 33. He has founded Dr. Paris Wellness that deals with leadership training and coaching interventions. He conducts various certification programs like NLP, Mindfulness Practitioner Coach Certification, Hypnotherapy, Psychotherapy, and Counseling. Let me tell you, he has won several awards, but I'm just going to name a few here. He has won Global Coach of the Year at EMCC Global Paris, June 2019, and Young Leader Award from ICF Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, US in June 2018. So that was a profound introduction. Thank you, Paris. So let me quickly go ahead and take you through our first panel member. She's a wonderful lady. Her name is Jayshree Christina. So can we please get Jayshree in the room, please? Hi, Jayshree. Namaste. Warm welcome to you.
Hi, and hi, Paris.
So let me quickly talk about Jayshree. Jayshree is an executive director, Alchemy, a perfect consulting and coaching firm. Originally a mathematical economist, Jayshree wrote her life script 16 years ago and chose to become a facilitator of human processes. She found her calling in coaching, and she has coached for more than 3,500 hours so far. Our clients experience Jayshree as a coach for balancing the dichotomies of task and relationships, agility and stability. compassion, as well as logic. It is implicit that such balancing leads to extraordinary results for individuals as well as organizations. Jayshree is also the president of ICF Pune chapter and pays forward to the community of coaches. Warm welcome to you, Jayshree. It was a wonderful, wonderful introduction.
Thank you. Thanks, Ekktaa.
So, Jayshree, such an honor to have you. I personally admire your strengths as a leader, a woman as a leader, and such an amazing space you carry. And also, I would love to wish you many happy returns of the day from Tava-mitram family. And it's such an honor to have you on your birthday. And so I would just like to hear from you, as it's your birthday and you've been busy, but you took time for this wonderful program, which is mental health for women, W for warrior, W for women. So anything that women can just quickly take away something from you, very very importantly.
Sure. Thanks, Paras, and thanks, Ekktaa, for having me here. And I think it is an absolute joy to be celebrating my birthday evening with all of you here on this topic that's so close to my heart as well. I think many of you who are attending might know that this week is a very special week for Indians, and this week is the celebration of the divine feminine. So I think just two lines which I might want to recite in Sanskrit, if that is okay with you. So it goes like this, yeah. Sarvasvarupe sarveshe sarvashakti samanvite bhayepyastrahino devi durge devi namostute. And what this means is that she who's present in all the beings, she who regulates, she who embodies all power, and she who alleviates all fears. So, Goddess Durga, we bow down to you. And I think, all of I would just like to share that for me, I think this one spells out the possibilities and potential for women. So, yeah, so glad to be here.
Thank you for setting that platform for all of us, and it's such a wonderful shloka to hear this evening. Thank you once again.
That was really powerful, Jayshree. Really, really. On your birthday, you're taking this time out and you're here for all of us. Thank you so much. We really appreciate that.
Wonderful. Honored.
Can we move on, Paris, to our next introduction?
I look forward to.
Thank you. So let me quickly introduce get our next panel member, that is Sheelaa Kuparte.
Hi everyone.
Hi Sheelaa, warm welcome, namaste.
Ekktaa, thanks Paras for having me here.
So let me quickly talk about Sheelaa. Sheelaa, she takes pride in saying she's a homemaker first. As for her family, is a core part of her being. She started her career only after she made sure that her children were grown up and doing fine. And let me tell you, today she's a PCC coach, NLP practitioner, and she's also on a coaching panel on international platform, and she coaches executives globally. She's an image consultant, an etiquette expert, and also a soft skill trainer. She calls herself an explorer, a spiritualist, a philanthropist, and an enthusiast in every walk of her life. And she's a Kathak dancer, a traveler, a Reiki and crystal healer, graphologist. Wow, that's really huge. So happy to have you on the panel, Sheelaa. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ekktaa. Thank you.
So let me quickly introduce you to our next panel member, Ms. Pallavi Tamboli. Can we get Pallavi in the room? Hi, Pallavi. Warm welcome.
Hi, Paras. Hi.
So, Pallavi Tamboli is a professional in mental strength. She provides coaching for making lives healthier, wealthier, and purposeful. Pallavi's one-on-one coaching sessions are aimed at achieving life, professional goals, and managing relationships. Pallavi is also a certified NLP practitioner and psychotherapist with niche skills in transaction analysis and emotion-based health issues that support people to improve mental strength, to overcome undesirable behaviors, beliefs, thoughts, and emotions, and to improve relationships. So, thanks for joining us, Pallavi.
Thank you. Thank you, Ekktaa. Thank you, Paras.
And let me introduce you to our next panel member. She's from Cyprus. Hi, Christina. Warm welcome to you. Namaste.
Hello, Ekktaa. Hello, Paras. Thank you so much for the invitation. It's lovely to be here today.
So I'm just going to be a little courageous here. I'm going to, articulate your entire name. Let me see if I can do that. Christina Demetriadis. Am I right?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm able to do that. Thank you. So let me tell you a little bit about Christina. She's an award-winning personal leadership coach, trainer, and coach supervisor. She believes in inclusion, equal opportunities, and social justice, as well as in the human potential for positive transformation. Her professional journey includes collaboration with an array of private corporations, governmental, and not for profit organizations globally. Currently serving as the president of EMCC Cyprus, she believes in the democratization of coaching and its power towards the evolution of individuals and organizations. So thank you for joining us, Christina. We are very happy to have you on this panel. Namaste.
I'm honored to be here. Thank you.
And last but not least, it gives me an immense pleasure to introduce Shraddha Homeworld.
Hello.
Hi,
Hello,
Shraddha.
everyone. Namaste. Hello.
Welcome.
Thank you.
So let me talk a little bit about Shraddha. Shraddha has a master's degree in human resource management and is an HR professional with more than a decade of experience in the field of compensation and benefits. She currently leads the India C&B division at Tata Technologies. Having spent a significant amount of time interacting with people as part of her job, her focus has always been on the employee's well-being. And during her off hours, she enjoys exploring her creative side, which includes painting, sketching, and writing. And she also enjoys exploring the outdoors. So thanks for joining us, Shraddha, on this panel. Happy to have you.
I'm glad to be here today. Thank you.
Thank you. So Paras, over to you. I look forward to hear a lot of views from all of you lovely panel members. Thank you.
Thank you, Ekktaa, and such a wonderful, warm welcoming, everybody. So namaste, everyone, and warm welcome to all of you. And
Thank you.
So glad that you're all here, and I'm so feeling nervous. All the power women, the warrior women out there in the room. So, so first of all, what are my thoughts about women? I would love to talk to you about. Women play various roles in our lives, be it a mother, sister, wife, a colleague, boss, mentor, confidant, best friend, so many different roles. Personally, what I have witnessed in my journey, they are the best taskmasters. One can learn excellent way of multitasking from a woman. Every house has a nutritionist in the form of a mother or a wife. My life was, and then and trust me, they are able to fake that beautifully. Let's unveil the core issue women undergo, and let's hear it from the wonderful and respectable women on the panel. But before I could come to you, all my panel members, let me ask a few questions to my audience. So, audience, let me know your views. It helps me stay connected with you all. Here is a question. Please reply in the comment section. I would be very happy to see your response. So the question that I have for all of you is, thinking about various roles women play in your life, what is that one word you associate today when you think about them? Kindly share in the chat. I would be happy to learn more. As we are warming up this panel discussion and getting into full flesh, I would like to just know more from the audience. How are they perceiving? Okay. So as audience is also writing us, I would just quickly like to ask my first question to all my panelists. My first question to my panelists is, What are the various mental health issues experienced by women? So I would like to first start with Jayshree, then Shraddha, Christina, Pallavi, and then Sheelaa. Jayshree, over to you.
Okay. Thanks, Paras. So you were asking what are the various mental health issues, right? I think the first thing about health is that I feel people define health as absence of ill. So if I'm not taking medication, if I'm not seeing a therapist, if I'm able to live my life reasonably, which means I don't have ill health, then that means I'm healthy. I think that's the usual assumption that people carry, and I certainly have a problem with that, because I think health cannot be defined by absence of something. It has to be defined just as ease, and therefore for me, mental health means it is the well-being. It is about the ability to manage stress, about relating to people, relating to self, and being able to live fulfilling lives. So I think some of the mental health issues and that I see around in my coaches or clients or participants are, I think, the early signs of depression that are often ignored. I think those are the ones that I see most often. The irritability, the mismanagement or mishandling of stress. Very often women also take pride in saying, oh, I have an OCD for cleanliness or OCD for this or that, not even realizing that OCD is actually even a milder version of a mental health issue. Also, I think the mismanagement of emotions and the various mood disorders swings is something that I am seeing it, and I'm seeing it more often in last few years more than earlier.
Beautifully explained, Jayshree, I think. Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. Over to you, Shraddha.
Yeah, so I just want to bring in some fun element here in terms of, I want you all to guess who I am talking about right now. This is connected to the question. So if you allow me, I would love to ask this question to the audience and to the panelists here.
Sure, go ahead. Yeah.
Okay. So this is a person who was born into poverty, also, raised by a single mother, molested on multiple occasions, pregnant at the age of 14, and her infant died soon after. She also attempted suicide in her lifespan. Any guesses who this person is?
For me, it sounded more like a you can heal your life. I don't know, similar story, but I don't know.
Right. So I think it is quite relatable to a lot of women out there. And but this particular story is anything negative or wrong that you could think about has happened with this woman, and she's none other than Oprah Winfrey, if I may quote her. So imagine the kind of stress, anxiety, depression she must have gone throughout her lifespan, and attempting suicide itself is, I think, a very big thing, right? And look at where she is right now. So I think, yes, as a woman, there are a lot of challenges that they come across in their entire lifespan. And yeah, so that's what I would like to quote the story.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Celebrity or not, that's what I wanted to say, that, be it a celebrity or not, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
These problems are very similar, and these issues are irrespective of the status quo of a person.
Fabulous points. Thank you so much once again, Shraddha. I think you're just highlighting the very important thing. It's not about the status or where you come from. It's about what you're undergoing, and
Absolutely.
that is normal, and that is you, and that could be anyone in that whole group of women there. Thank you, Shraddha, once again. So over to you, Christina.
Thank you, Paras. Wonderful insights shared by the W for wonderful women before me. It's true that, nowadays we are living in a complex world, in a VUCA world, vulnerable, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous world, and where we are called to manage multiple roles. We are called to manage our role as professionals at work, at home as mothers, sisters, daughters, in the wider family as nurturers, as carers, in society as supporters. In these challenging times and the crisis, times of crisis that we are living in, managing these roles is becoming more and more demanding. And the global pandemic of COVID-19 has definitely made its impact on us. We have a looming global financial crisis, and we have a climate crisis already at red alert. All these compound the circumstances in which women are called to function and deliver. Mental health, on the other hand, is more important than ever. Stress and anxiety are on the rise. And in fact, a couple of months ago, the World Health Organization shared that the new pandemic is considered to be the phenomenon of burnout, exhaustion, depletion of energy on all levels, physical, mental, emotional. And women do have very high statistics in the burnout category. We need to look at how we can deal with these multiple expectations and challenges that we are faced with so that we can employ the resilience we have and make more meaningful contributions to our aching world. I think the most serious of all current crises is the crisis of values, which can be observed in many societies across the world. We as humanity have been more concerned about profit than we have about people for too long, or the climate for that matter, our home. For thousands of years, women have been socially conditioned to think themselves as less than they are. The power lies within our hands to awake to our truly amazing potential. We care about supporting women in appreciating their courage, their resilience, as well as their achievements and success. We care about seeing more and more women finding the power to lead themselves more effectively, such that they can more effectively support themselves and others. My position is that it's really time to reassess our priorities and to bring back an anthropocentric focus to our endeavors. It's time to have another look at our resources, especially our human resources, and have a look at the different possibilities that we can create for our future as humanity by embracing and supporting women and allowing them to support back. It's time to rethink women's position and potential in local communities and in global society at large.
Thank you. Thank you, Christine, for such a wonderful aspect of bringing the values in the room and so important to address them. Thank you. Over to you, Pallavi.
Yeah, thank you, Paras. And as my panelist added, it's such a beautifully that what are the mental health issues we are facing as a woman. I feel that female has lot of life cycles in their, in their stages, like like from the birth, and then even giving a birth to a baby, we consider as it is a rebirth. So there are a lot of issues, where females are facing, which also they are not aware of. And one of these is, anxiety, or we can call it as depression. Also the stress they are, encountering a lot of it. One of the thing which is very common in female, and they are experiencing it, is eating disorder, which we can say this is like booming like anything, because as the gender diversity is coming inside, there are a lot of need for the power, and also balancing, and there are a lot of ambition which is coming up, and because of which there are a lot of mental issues which are also coming up or popping up on the surface. And because of this, lot of female are facing this depression, anxiety, panic attacks, and also more on that eating disorders, or there is more a need of doing something extra, or taking care of something. So I think that is what is, I feel, the mental health issues are increasing in women.
That's fabulous, Pallavi. What you're also bringing out here, what I could relate to, is important for a lot of women to take that pause and account for their own mental well-being. So thank you for addressing these crucial points. Over to you, Sheelaa. You're on mute, Sheelaa, maybe. Just check.
Yeah, thanks, Paras. Before I could just proceed and talk about the question you asked, first I would like to take this opportunity to thank you because Paras, you have been my mentor, guru, coach, guide, and you have helped me in my journey of self-discovery and growth. And actually, you have built my mental health. You have made me strong. So I am extremely grateful to you. This is the opportunity I take to thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much once again. And
Yeah.
you're amazing, Sheelaa. You've been amazing right from the time I saw you. So thank you for being here with us.
Thank you so much. So now talking about mental health, I think it would be wrong to say that only women have mental health issues. Men also have mental health issues, but there are different type of mental health. The way they address to it is different. The coping up strategy is different. Having that, women, it is studied that women are twice more prone to mental health issues than men. The reason being that the brain structure is different and there are hormones that keep fluctuating. We women have monthly period cycle or the positioning of moon and the new moon and the full moon has a tremendous effect on emotional being of women, and women become extremely emotional during that time. They become sensitive to their surroundings, and there is some kind of stress that builds up unknowingly. Actually, if you look at women is an epitome of purity, ageless beauty, dignity, and she is so complete by herself. She's a nurturer, she's a procreator. uh, if you there are so many things that we can talk about women, like she is a she protects her family, she stands up for them, she takes care of their mental health, and she prioritizes others over herself, and she forgets her needs, her priorities. Somewhere she is conditioned since childhood, she is conditioned to be submissive, to give in, to take permissions. And this conditioning kind of builds stress in her because we all want to be happy, accepted, loved. And the stress builds up where they feel discrimination, they feel they are taken for granted, they are they feel left over, their body, they go to so many such experience that they start having low self-esteem about themselves. They lose confidence. They forget the core strength, what they are, and they start losing their self-worth. I can share one example here about one of my clients. She is, I've worked with her in the past. She's a director of a big multinational company. She has actually achieved a lot at a very young age. She came to me for stress management. I understand that working in a multinational company at that level must have been stressful. But to my surprise, her stress was that everybody takes granted at her office because she's a woman. She had to face a lot of conditions where she was questioned, she was not given enough opportunities, and that stress was building up. That pattern exists even at home as well. Successful did not make her fulfilled. She was not happy. She was not feeling it. And that stress kept building. As a coach, I asked her how you would like to be seen as, how you want people to perceive you as. And she had no answer. She does not know what she wants, how people want to look at her, because she never asked herself. She has always been a giver. In spite of being so successful, she was incomplete. Is the state of such an educated, highly placed woman. Think about the women who are homemakers. It is very important to empower these women. All of us should stand up and take a pledge that my mental health is my priority. Thank you.
Thank you, Sheelaa, once again for bringing very important aspects and thanks for the wonderful um, case study that you shared. with taking the client's permission to share about this and bringing it out to all of us. Thank you. What is coming loud to me is that how women can account for their own mental health. Like if you ask the question to the lady that what would you like to be seen, and she doesn't have an answer, it's a big question for all of us to look at. That do they have that thought process to envision what they want to be? Do they have their own identity, like a rainbow? Okay, she smudges in the whole colors. So there are various colors of the rainbow, but does she now select her identity that, hey, this is the yellow, that's me? And that's the big question we all need to ask. And that's where the self sabotaging is leading and causing to a lot of contribution to mental health issues. And that keeps growing. And then for a period of time, we see different consequences. So it's such a lovely, lovely thoughts coming from everybody, and I just cannot wait to ask you the next question. At the same time, I'm just wondering if there are any question. So Pratibha out here says, "Great going, Sheelaa. What a powerful start. Thank you." I think again, another message is Sheila, I love the way you brought forward the connection of women emotions to the moon. Can't agree more. I think you're just not connecting to psychology, but also to esoteric or spiritual level. So thanks for bringing that as well. Yeah. And even Shalaka says that two words come to my mind. Earlier question was nurture and giver, and I could resonate now. That's a common theme. But a bigger question that I would like to invite everybody is, how is that going to stand out for you as a woman? And how can you wear your own oxygen mask before you wear it for others? But that's a big question. It's a cultural question. So my next question to all of you now is, why are women more prone to mental health issues? Like, what are the various factors that contribute, maybe cultural, social, biological, economical? So maybe I would like to start with Christina, then Pallavi, followed by Jayshree, Sheelaa, and then Shraddha.
Thank you, Paras. Well, there is consistent lack of validation and a suppression of women's true capabilities to impact the world. And these have been ingrained in us, all of us, not just women, through a multi-level social conditioning for thousands of years. In some cases, we observed male domination in decision-making, in governments, in the corporate world. In other cases, it's ethnicity and national ideals. In some other cases, it's religion, education systems, even the role models promoted by mass media. And this results in women being squeezed into boxes whose fit is both uncomfortable and unjust. And we see gender discrimination everywhere. Yes, there have been steps made. There has been some progress, but we still have a long way to go. And discrimination, of course, disempowers women because it reiterates that they are small and they should do as they're told. It's like society at large has bullied women for a very, very long time. Independent thinking, independent decisions, independent actions, even work, they have all shrunk to give way to a man's approval. It could be in the form of a father allowing his daughter to marry the man she loves, a husband allowing his wife to work, an uncle's opinion about a girl's life her own. And these all push women to suffer various mental health issues, no matter their age, no matter their social status, their financial status, even their level of education and professional success. And another really important highlight, I think, is the guilt. The guilt we see women carrying. There is a huge amount of guilt that we carry. And I will give just one example here because I could go on and on. If we think of sexual pleasure, it has been ingrained in us that women are there to serve and please men sexually. It's about pleasing men, it's about male domination. What about women's sexual pleasure? I think I invite everyone to think about that. Why isn't it worth thinking about? It's worth doing some introspection in full honesty with ourselves so that we acknowledge which burdens we have been carrying that are not ours, so that we can let go of them and make space for our true self to come out, to bloom. We can lighten our load when it's not a burden to carry. And taking personal responsibility to do that is very empowering and very liberating. I mean, it's it's a bit dangerous to keep blaming, what we have received and taking absolving ourselves of responsibility. That's not empowering. That actually keeps us crippled. What we can do is own up to what we can do about it, to our part in all this. And that's my 2 cents for this question. Thank you, Paras.
Thank you, Christina. I think thanks for bringing such a powerful space and addressing it with an open heart, open mind, and open will to empower women because there are so many psychological issues that give rise to mental health, and one of them is sexuality or sexual experiences. So it is important to bring that in the room and witness and have. And what I also like the way you're promoting to have more open conversations, open communication with partners, because it's all about partnership also. So thank you once again. So over to you, Pallavi.
Thank you, Paras. Actually, I must say this is a very good question that why female, specifically expresses the mental issues. I feel one of the most important reason is that if you see culturally in India, it's like we are like it's always been that our mother is at home. She's a caretaker. She puts everything first, before anybody else, and she is considered as taking care of everything. Now, what happened is like female plays a very important role of creating generations. If you see, she is responsible for creating next generation, and that's the most profound job which every female is doing. So, culturally, if you see, that's the biggest responsibility any female is, especially in case of India, if you see, the culture is so rich, and we put female in front of everything, and we say that she's there, and that I don't have to worry. So, in every home, female is the one who is leading it. Now, when she has so many responsibilities, why she will not suffer? Okay, so mentally, she is putting everything, she's putting every emotions, every stress in her body, but she's not releasing it. So that's the reason why female is, culturally facing a lot of mental issues. Socially, because there is a lot of burden. What if this happens? What if that happens? There is, even if you wear a different kind of clothes, there's a social trauma which people start saying like, you should not be wearing this, you should not be wearing this. Biological, I feel it's a complete mess because every stage she has to be alert. Uh, Before marriage, after marriage, in the menopause, in the delivery, pro-menopause, even if the later age also. So in a process, she doesn't get time to take care of herself biologically and mental health. I really have a doubt. Even females are aware that they are facing such issues like mental health because of which there are a lot of infertility or there are a lot of things which even the other panelists which talked about and which we started with. So I think this is the reason why culturally, socially, and biologically females are facing such
Thanks for bringing that, Pallavi. I think it's very important to understand that whether, even from the social angle, it's so important, and how the trauma she carries everywhere. It's all about the, the alertness that she keeps to, and that has an impact of not being in an ease space, always being worried about what others are going to be feeling, thinking about her. So thanks for bringing that. Over to Jayshree.
Yeah, okay. So I think beautiful points brought up by both Christina and Pallavi. I'm just going to add my 2 cents to that. So I'm just, recollecting in my head the creative that you guys had on the website of Tava-mitram for this particular, broadcast, right? So that was a cage and the woman who is trying to, kind of uncage herself. So I think the cage is made up of so many stereotypes. So while of course there is that side of what the society and what the external world is doing to women, I think women themselves also carry a lot of stereotypes in their head, and many of them are just inbuilt, ingrained in us through our unconscious that we are carrying. And I think the title of this, right, the warrior, and it is not about probably for some people it could be the war against something that is outside of us, but for me I think the war is in the space of 8.5 inches between my ears. And that is the that's where we often just maybe shy away from fighting those battles, or pick up the wrong battles, or just get become prisoners of our own stereotypes, and that's the reason I think we are more prone to mental health issues.
True. I like the way that you're bringing up and alerting a lot of women to reflect on the the internal battle is the internal universe you're carrying of so many systems inside you and how they play out in the process. So thank you for bringing that. Sheila.
Yeah, thanks. So when we're talking about why women are more prone to mental health issues, so actually when we're comparing it to men, uh, actually men too have mental health issues, and that is more seen in them becoming alcoholic or going to drugs. Whereas in women, the kind of mental health issues that we see are more based with emotions, because we women have hormones that play so big that during the pregnancy, the surge of hormones, they put us to risk of OCD or depression. There are so many mental health issues that we go through. Uh, Basically, why we go through all these issues, because we choose to be vulnerable. We don't mind being vulnerable. We don't put our guards on. I think that's one of the reasons why emotional breakdown can happen in a woman. I
True.
like point that Shalaka Tembe brought it up. She said masculinity is always more celebrated and women are more suppressed. It is so true. Women are always told that there is something less about you. Their birth is not celebrated. They're unwanted uh, in the house, and it goes into the subconscious level of a child. When she's born, she's not celebrated.
Looks like we lost Sheila. She would be joining in. Okay. So thank you so much. Can I invite Shraddha?
Yes. Firstly, I would like to say I'm glad that we are talking about this subject from a woman's perspective. And I think it's very, very essential in this society today, because I believe that our society has evolved to a great extent as compared to what it was a couple of decades ago. And, that evolution has come in where men and women are sort of treated equally. However, there are certain sections of society
Strangely.
where women and men are not treated equally, right? And there, and especially because women wear different hats. They, I would like to quote an ad here by Ariel. I think the creative director at Ariel are really feminist out there, and I sort of follow so many ads that they come up with. And one such ad that I would like to sort of urge everyone to watch it if you all have not is can I just
Go ahead. Go
yeah.
ahead.
So this ad is about a mother who is speaking to her daughter on the phone and saying, "Why are you quitting your job?" And she's like, "Because my husband is he cannot do housework. He's busy, and I am the one who is juggling various roles. Like I'm doing housework. I am the bread earner. I am also looking after the child. I am doing the house chores, etc. And hence, I'm not able to balance work and life. And hence, I'm going to quit my job and focus only on house related matters and my kids and husband and family." So that's a big compromise. So the mother is really surprised and she asks, why are you doing this? You're doing excellent at your career. I think you should not. And then a realization just strikes her because she is in her own son's room, cleaning the entire messy room. And that's where I think the issue lies. I think the cause is that to a certain extent, I wouldn't say with everyone, but to a certain extent in the society today, is that women themselves, sort of are the cause by not making men take up equal responsibilities like women, and stand up to a level where, yes, my son and my daughter are equal. So household work or outside work has to be divided equally. And also, I think, secondly, uh, the cause could also be that women today are trying to be more masculine as compared to men. And that, I say that because I think society values that more and has been valuing that more in the past. But somewhere the womanhood is lost in that struggle. So somewhere as women, we need to sort of nurture being a woman and the qualities and traits that we possess. So yeah.
That was brilliant. Thank you for acknowledging a space of how women can draw boundaries with the
Absolutely.
kind of partnership with their work. And I was maybe 2 weeks ago, I was talking to a doctor, and she told me that a lot of women don't prefer to be pregnant because they have their high flying jobs, and they say that why do I compromise because I have to stay back and my
Absolutely.
husband has to go back to work, so why do I? And so there's a lot of counseling and a lot of discussions are going around on these topics, and there are a lot of positives and not positives spaces that we could say. uh, there's another area that I want to highlight is the economical part. uh, I had one of my clients, and she asked me. I never had an answer to her because I was questioning myself about this thought. She asked me that, Paris, I gave up my job. I'm at home. I have two daughters, and I have to take permission from my partner to buy anything. And the measure or the measurement of success is about if you're earning, and the intangible efforts that she has put up or tangibly giving birth to two kids, twins, and then raising them and doing it all by themselves, and there is no salary attached to it, or there is no income attached to it, but there is so much more than that. So there is a big
Absolutely.
question about and how it is impacting economical pressure on women time and again, pressing on, and impacting their health, their emotional self, leading to a lot of other dysfunctional negative emotions. So thanks for bringing a lot of different spaces of women in the room. So I would like to check with all of you. How are you feeling at this moment as you're sharing so many things? And also the audience who are watching us, just checking with all of you. How are you feeling watching this and observing from all the different panels their experiences? So maybe first let me ask my panelists quickly. How are you feeling at this moment as you're sharing so many important aspects of We the Power Women? Yeah.
Can I go,
Yes,
Paras?
Jayshree,
Yeah,
anyone, yeah.
and there are a couple of things that I want to share. So one is, of course, I'm feeling quite, I think, energized, and I'm feeling empowered even to discuss all these issues with everybody here. I think just two things that I want to add. One, to just what you said about the whole economic and financial independence. I think the financial independence matters a lot in the feeling and sense of empowerment for women as well as for men. But typically, the weighing scale tilts more in favor of men. So I still remember that I studied economics, as you know, right? And so many years ago, so decades ago, we were discussing in the class about how, if we really bring up the economic value of the work that women actually do at home, if we bring that up, how will our GDP look like? Right? And we discussed
Wow.
that, yeah, more than 3 decades ago. I still remember, but I don't think anything has been done even yet, and I wonder whether anything else could be done. So just wanted to share that. And second is, I think, just building on what Shraddha said, about the masculinity. I'm tempted to share one instance where I had a woman participant, a really successful professional woman participant, and all her psychometric instrument scores were just haywire, just going everywhere. And she literally broke down, in the session, and she said, all this while just proving to the world that I am worthy of the position that I am holding, I think I'm losing my core.
True.
The whole femininity which we are here to celebrate here today, the whole femininity was suppressed, consciously or unconsciously, because she thought that if I show my womanhood, as Shraddha mentioned, then I would not be taken seriously and I would probably not get the next promotion that I want. So I've really experienced that. Thank you, Shraddha, for bringing that.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Jayshree, for highlighting the two important things. How about the rest? Anyone would you like to quickly share with me? How are you feeling at this moment? Yes.
So Paris, for me, actually I've gone back to my past, and actually there are a lot of recollection of memories which has come through, and I'm feeling really good that at what level of in the life I reached here, and I think it's so long for me to reach at this stage. But what I realized in this entire journey is okay to take help. So whoever my female audience is there, I just want to urge them, please take help if you need help. So it's okay to take help.
Wow. So
Yeah.
it talks more like the permission to
Yes.
to to ask for it, and it's okay to ask. And I think it's a brilliant point, kind of thing. Thank you. Anyone else? Before I could move on to the next question, yes, Christina.
Yes, I want to say I'm inspired and empowered, and most of all, I feel safe. This is thank you so much. I feel very grateful to be here today, not only because I'm among really amazing and inspiring, powerful women, and you, Paras, a leader, an amazing leader yourself, but because we offer this space, we share this space rather openly with the world, where we invite people and women, including women, to reflect, to acknowledge, and to embrace ourselves as whole. Going back to what Jayshree said, not lose the core, embrace all of the layers, the whole onion, the whole onion. Accept it and embrace it and honor it. Thank you.
Thank you, Christina. It's just coming out when you say sharing that how even gender equality has an impact on mental health directly for women, and it's coming out in a big discussion kind of thing. So I cannot hold my thought, but I'm going to just ask quickly Shraddha and then Sheelaa to share their quick feelings on the same. Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
yes,
Go ahead.
Yeah,
Paras. Okay, go ahead.
Okay,
Go ahead,
so I
Sheelaa.
just quickly wanted to say that I was super excited since the morning to actually I was looking forward to this session, and I think it's a great thing that today is Friday and I'm doing something different from usual.
Okay.
I just hope that out of everybody who is attending this session today, they get one point that they take back home and ponder upon and stick by. So I'm just glad that I'm able to contribute to this session today amongst other panelists who are here, and I'm just grateful. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you, Shraddha. And we equally feel the same. I was so excited. I chatted with you this afternoon. I say, hey, Shraddha, I'm going to see you. And
Yes.
so glad. And it was so equally to understand and learn more. How about you, Sheelaa? Yeah.
Yes, Paras. I have a feeling of belonging. I feel I belong here. I feel me, myself. I feel being myself. I just want to bring up one thought that came to my mind is the flyer, the creative that you made had everybody's first name in the panels like Sheelaa or Jayshree or Shraddha. We did not have the surname there. And that made me think that today I stand here as Sheelaa, not like anybody's wife or anybody, mother or anybody. I just stand as myself and speak for womanhood. And that's the feeling of belonging, and that's where I can be myself. That makes me bring that feeling of belongingness, and it's very powerful and feels nice. Thank you.
Yeah. I like the way you're bringing out the roles to identity, and I think feeling, and that's where Sheila, I think I extend the point wherever you belong, you become, and it just the identity is where we all are able to experience it in different ways. When I'm listening to it, I'm identifying about how it resonates in my family system. Thank you. That's such an amazing journey to be with you all. So
One, if I can add more point, Paras,
go ahead, Sheila.
we all Yes, we all female energies here, and you are the one energy, masculine energy, which is balancing the whole place. So you are bringing balance to the whole conversation here.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Sheila. And it's very good to say that because it's just one man. And I feel that I anytime can pop out from this conversation. Such an amazing energy and so much of knowledge transfer. It's a pure knowledge transfer you're doing. I'm sure people are going to
Absolutely.
benefit that. Yeah. So before I could go ahead and ask the next question to all my panelists out here, I'm going to quickly address about PTSD. PTSD is called post-traumatic stress disorder. It can affect anyone. PTSD can occur if a person has suffered from a traumatic event and is having trouble dealing or processing with it. Let me tell you, women are twice as likely as men to experience PTSD. According to the World Health Organization, a woman's chances of experiencing trauma are higher. 10% of women will experience PTSD versus 4% of men. So, panel members, maybe I humbly invite you to have a discussion on this very next question emerging for Christina, Shraddha, and Pallavi. Can you please discuss about PTSD in women and the causes? So, I would invite Christina, then Shraddha, and Pallavi.
Thank you. Building on my earlier comment that I feel safe here, I would like to share a personal experience I've had with PTSD as a woman. And I want to do it in empathy and in solidarity with all the warrior women out there, women who keep fighting to make their life meaningful, women who keep striving to make ends meet, women who are at war against the system that puts them down rather than supports them, and women who believe they can be more than what they've been told they can be. So, about 4 years ago, I was involved in a terrible car accident. I was a passenger in a taxi in London, going to the airport to return home to Cyprus. And there were two collisions, and they were so great that I was told later on that the fact that I had the belt on, the seat belt at the back seat, was the only reason I came out of that in one piece and even alive. I was diagnosed with PTSD following the accident, and I battled with it for a few months, which I spent bound to bed, helpless. I couldn't even drink water by myself. I was completely dependent on others around me, on my partner, on my family, and I was trying to recover physically, mentally, and psychologically. Now, the PTSD was progressing well. I was recovering until I had a huge regression. It worsened massively when I found out that during the accident I was actually pregnant. And then my pregnancy terminated as a result of the heavy medical treatment I had undergone for my physical healing. It was a very painful and dark period where, among other things, failing to reach motherhood, so to speak, was a heavy disappointment regarding the role that human history as I know it, or we know it, and society had identified women with. I felt as a real failure, as I couldn't manage to procreate. We carry with us all that we have learned consciously and unconsciously, and that forms the demons that we need to face in order to overcome what's holding us back from being self-nurturers as well, not only nurturers for others. And these demons are what Jayshree mentioned earlier as the 2.5 inches between my ears. Yeah, it's all within us. And that's great because that means we can change it for the better. Now, regarding my experience, it was a real battle with myself, with expectations I had from myself in terms of the numerous responsibilities I had towards other people, my family, my friends, my clients, my potential clients. I wasn't out there being a coach, being a trainer. I wasn't out there being an educator or a helper. I wasn't out there supporting other people, which I had drawn meaning from that earlier, but there was a part missing, and that was inside me. So I felt angry. I felt angry with myself for being unable to function properly and to respond to the various roles I had. And I was once used to juggling. Multitasking was my game, And I was not at rest until I truly embraced that prioritizing self-care and self-love is the only way forward. The message I want to share is that we women must include ourselves in our top priorities. It may be a lesson that may take a lifetime to learn. I'm still learning it, and I'm fine with that. I allow myself to take my time to learn things at my tempo. So it may take a lifetime to learn this lesson, but it is a lesson that is paramount in our well-being, in our evolution, in honoring ourselves. I hope it's okay that I share the personal experience. I wanted to make it real, Yes, I've suffered from it too, and I know what it feels like. Thank you.
I'm deeply moved by your story, and I want to acknowledge the way you brought this to everyone to share your story. And but trust me, I cannot relate or empathize with you because I've never been there or never even seen that space. But I can be with you today here and honor and witness your journey and your transformation from where you experienced the trauma and how have you really moved up the ladder and transforming today lives of people. So I really feel so deeply moved today. Thank you for sharing that space. Yeah. Shraddha, would you like to join in? Yeah, I'm a little short of words right now.
Yes, same here actually. And I would like to say, Christina, you're really a strong woman, like seriously. After experiencing something like that and still sitting here speaking about the subject needs a lot of courage, I must say. And you have just shown us what strength, women's strength really means. So cheers to you. Like this is a life-changing event that you just spoke about, right? And such events actually negatively impact all human beings. So every individual, I believe, do go through a life-changing event in their lives. So it could be an event like a death of a close one, like a family member maybe. So these life-changing events actually generate a lot of negativity and a space that is difficult to come out from. So and I think these are the real causes for PTSD. And like you rightly mentioned, Christina, that procrastination, I believe, is the biggest issue, where you expect too much from yourself because you have been doing that in the past, and you tend to blame yourself that I am not able to do that right now. I think it's important that we all take a step back, aware of our current situation, embrace the situation that we are in right now. And if it's a low point in your life with whatever trauma we are going through, let's come out of it by taking support. I think that's the message that I would like to put it out there.
Yeah, thank you, Shraddha. I think procrastination is not just about not able to manage your time. It's about the psychological energy and how
Absolutely.
it is how one tends to do everything but not account for self, and that leads to a whole complete vicious circle that way. And Christina, there is a lot of care and love to you. Sheelaa says, truly commendable, Christina, for sharing your deep personal experience, respect to your courage and vulnerability. While Ekktaa says, sorry for your loss, Christina, but it needs courage to talk about traumatic past events. Hugs to you. And also, Satyashri says, Christina, more power. Such a lovely message. So really, thank you for bringing your own story and making us aware about how it impacts and how one can fight back and come across in life as a winner.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Over to you, Pallavi.
Yeah. Thank you, Paras. Christina, I really like the energy and the spirit, which, even with on your face also, we can see a lot of energy and the spirit by which you're just citing that example. And I really feel good that you're part of this discussion, and we could hear a lot from this and learn a lot from this, because this is really something, life changing experience can be for somebody. So coming back to the question, PTSD is, as Paras said, it's very right. It's a traumatic event, and this may be relive the event through flashbacks or nightmares. These people may feel sadness, fear, or anger, or they may feel detached from other people. And we call it as characterized by failure to recover after experiencing or witnessing a terrifying event. So this can cause because of we feel that environment is not safe, or there is a sexual violence, or childhood sexual abuse, or domestic violence for that matter. And in if you'll see, due to pandemic, there are a lot of domestic violence, which is increasing, and there is a lot of complaints also which has gone for domestic violence. So that is also one of the reason why PTSD is can be there. And so the female have to make very unconventional choices. She needs to make, for example, there is a lack of support or constant fear of being attacked. And even if you see, there are a lot of acid attacks also, which are there, in the past and now also. So I feel females are not feeling safe by themselves, and that is also one of the causes, why I think the PTSD has also increased.
Thank you. Thank you, Pallavi, for highlighting that as well. There are many other factors how it leads to. Uh, just checking with you, Christina, how are you feeling at this moment? Are we together here? And just wanted to check.
Thank you, Paras. You're so immensely kind. I feel held and loved. So thank you so much for asking.
Thank you, Christina. And also, Ekktaa says that pandemic has further added more issues of domestic violence. Front can't agree more with Pallavi Tamboli. So I think, Pallavi, you're highlighting very important thing of how the frustrations, like there was an ad that I saw, and it has a direct impact on a lot of women. And that was like a very, like I was moved for nights. I couldn't sleep because I was very, because I have a sister at home. I have my mother at home. There's an ad where the boy comes late and the father is very angry, very furious. But rather than slapping or hitting the boy, he slaps the daughter who is at home. And it was a very awareness campaign what the ad ran, and it really shook the core. And I think today with the pandemic, the domestic violence is also contributing a lot on the mental health because there are no boundaries, there are no spaces for men and women. And then if people are not taught of how to communicate, they end up communicating in violence, and that ends up a vicious cycle of having dysfunctional emotions. So thank you. I just, Pallavi just brought up a very interesting point. Today it looks like a Friday. It doesn't look like just like I feel like I'm doing a scuba diving. I'm going so deep with you, all women out here on the panel, and you're so much encouraging and giving us a lot of hope as well. So thank you. So let me check what's any questions we have from the audience also at the same time. There's a lot of care and there's a lot of thoughtful to even Pallavi and Shraddha. Thanks, Shraddha, for bringing about procrastination. Thanks. So a lot of lovely messages coming out. Thank you. So my next question, I would like to maybe bring the rest of the panel and check how are we doing? The rest of them, Sheelaa, Jayshree, how are you keeping, both of you?
Great.
Great.
Just
Okay.
stand.
Great. So my next question is for maybe if to everybody. Actually, I do not want to just pause it to one or two members. How do you, all the women out here, want people to think or feel about you? So maybe I would like to check with Sheelaa if you are there. Sheelaa, I'm just checking. She's joining in. Yeah. So maybe Jayshree and Pallavi, Christina and Shraddha. How do you want people to think or feel about you?
Yeah. Oh, that's a great question. And I do think that I would like people to think about me as somebody who's able to embody both the poles of masculinity and femininity and bring out what is the right thing or the right combination at the right point in time. So I would like people to think about me as someone who's powerful yet vulnerable, someone who's logical yet compassionate, and someone who's a go-getter, someone who's powerful. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Over to you, Pallavi.
For me, it's only one line of others that easy to reach to. If anybody wants to share something, they can come and share with me. So I feel people should feel sensitive and a listening ear to them. Maybe.
Thank you. Thank you. I think you're really bringing that point. Yeah, I'm there, and you be available, and yeah, it's time to go and ask. Yeah. Okay. Over to you, Christina.
Wow, it's a great question. Like Jayshree said, I think my shortest answer would be an open, loving warrior. That would be my short answer. My longer answer would be would definitely bring in equality. I would be like to be seen as equal to others. I think we are all equal. We all come into this world and leave this world in the same way. And I would definitely bring in respect and love on the human level. Thank you.
Lovely. Lovely. Over to you, Shraddha.
I think this is a very thought-provoking question, and it just made me think so many things right now. But to keep it short, I think I personally would like to be seen as somebody who's very approachable and someone who can make a difference in somebody else's life with whatever capacity I can. And I think this session hosted by you today on the Tava-mitram platform is one such opportunity that I believe I have received, where I could and can make a small difference to someone's life today, including my own, because I think this is a lovely panel out here, and I'm learning so much today. So yeah, that's how I feel right now. Yeah.
We equally resonate that with you, Shraddha, for being such an amazing person to be in this panel. Also, so want to probably check with, this is a very curious question for Jayshree, Christina, okay, that's why women can be wonderful coaches or counselors. So take your own time. I'm just opening spaces for you all. Yeah, yeah.
Christina, would you like to go first?
Sure. There are many things we could say. I mean, the easiest thing to think about is what we mentioned earlier, that women have been carers and nurturers and supporters for others for millennia. So it's something that comes naturally. We're really good at it because we're really well trained. We are masters at it. In terms of social conditioning or social psychology and even memory we carry through in our DNA, we can look at neuroscience and epigenetics for more on that. We are literally cut out to support others in their hour of need and in their growth, in their development. I believe women can be wonderful coaches and counselors and, in fact, any other helping profession. Also because they have suffered and are therefore in a position to empathize with others more easily, which is really important in supporting others, to make people feel like they are heard, they are understood, they are respected and held. For example, as a coach, when I go through a dark phase like the PTSD I mentioned earlier, I find consolation that in that the particular negative experience will actually enable me to empathize more deeply with my clients or people around me who have undergone something similar or something just as painful and traumatizing. Once we've experienced deep pain, we can understand better other people's deep pain. And once we've overcome it, we are living proof that others can overcome it too. Women can be wonderful in any helping profession because they themselves, or should I say we ourselves, attest that even the harshest obstacles can be overcome. And here I would mention Shraddha's example with Oprah Winfrey, that was a wonderful, wonderful example.
Thank you. Thank you, Christina. Sheelaa, we just missed you. Just wanted to check with you. So the question to everyone that I'm asking is why women can be wonderful coaches and counselor. So anything that you would like to share,
Yes,
Sheelaa?
definitely, Paras. Yeah, I'm experiencing some internet issue here.
That's all right.
Yeah, now coming back to this, why we women can be wonderful coaches. Yes, I think any human can demonstrate yin yang balance within themselves, Shiva Shakti balance, and one who can demonstrate ontological humility towards others can be a wonderful coach. But me, I'm being a woman, I would like to talk from a woman's perspective today. So I think nature has made us as procreators. We are blessed with the ability to nurture, we have the patience to hold a child in our womb for 9 months. We nurture with, we understand the child's needs. We are present selflessly for the child's needs. When the child cries, mother understands just by the way the child cries. We understand whether the child needs milk or needs a change of diaper, or it's just seeking for attention. We women are naturally intuitive. Our child needs help. We understand what emotions the child is going through. And as a mother, I feel we can be totally egoless, totally giving credit for what our child has done. So we can be completely absent, yet be strongly present for our child. Do I really need to say anything more? I think coaching comes naturally to women.
Thank you. Sheila, I think you're also bringing out a very interesting point of holding the child in the womb is like, that's reason the earth is called as Mother Earth because she absorbs everything around the world, whatever is happening around. And I think women are also natural absorbers. They could relate, they could have the empathy more differently than the men. I think men have to really arise the feminine part inside them by understanding, and I think a woman teaches them. So I have, in my personal experience as being a mental health worker, I have seen that when the first person who interacts with the child, for the first woman who interacts is the mother, and how is the relation of the mother and the child depends upon his relation with many other women in the world. So thanks for highlighting that powerful space of being a natural counselor or coach. And I think you all are natural healers. That's what I could relate to. Over to you, Jayshree.
Yeah, thanks. Thank you, Paras. Yeah, very pertinent question, and that is what we see around us also, right? I mean, we see a lot of women coaches as compared to men coaches. I think one of the things that I would just like to share is, because I'm an applied psychologist, a lot of people then ask me, "Oh, so that means you must be analyzing, your friends and your family and your sons and your everybody." And to which my immediate response is, I don't analyze. I use these instruments to understand them. So I think that is that's the difference between the masculine and feminine way of looking at things, right? So rather than analyzing and trying to solve something, I think women are more naturally inclined to just explore, just be with it and hold it and see what it looks like. So I think that is one of the things. Of course, empathy is something comes naturally to us. Again, the whole boundary of self expands with the whole motherhood, whether you are really bearing your own child or you are being a mother to someone else. So I think it just, expanding of the boundaries of self again is somewhere inbuilt. And the non-judgmental attitude, I think that is also a core of the feminine. But I would, of course, like to mention, although we are talking about women as a gender here, I think as coaches, and you know that even better than me, that as coaches, I think we need a very fine balance between both masculine and feminine.
Feminine.
So, why I'm the only man on this panel? I know, I think you invoke your feminine energy, very often in the sessions as well as in the coaching. So it's more about the energy rather than gender that I've seen.
Absolutely. Thanks for endorsing about the energy part. I think the combination of how the energy flows and the permission for man to feel and the woman to voice out, it's a journey that they will go, but as an energy, it's so important for coaches, counselors to harness both. Thank you. And such a wonderful, amazing space that I'm in right now. I have a question from one of the person who's watching us. Her name is Satyashree, and she is asking a question. If anybody would like to answer it, would be great. Does naturally being more expressive help women to deal with mental health issues as compared to men who are more likely to pile up emotions? I repeat the question. Does naturally being more expressive help women to deal with mental health issues as compared to men who are more likely to pile up emotions? So, anybody from the panel would like to answer? Satyashree would be great.
Uh, yeah, I would like to answer to her that, Paras.
Yes, go ahead.
Uh, I think we women, yes, definitely we are more expressive and we tend to open up with friends and we kind of lighten up our heavy heart when by talking with friends. But standing up for ourselves is a taboo. We don't want to show that we have a problem unless there is some clinical emergency where it goes to the extreme. We try to suppress what we are going through. Stay strong is what we have been taught all the time. There's a taboo to talk about mental health. Of course, men too go through the same emotion and they're less expressive. Uh, so their stress directly hits, it just touches their threshold and they kind of burst out. But women, there's definitely, that's the reason why the tradition has been that women come for some social gatherings. Like in Maharashtrian custom, we have Mangalagor or, various Haldi Kunku functions where women come together, socialize. The more they meet, they interact and they start, they went out, they empty themselves. Yes, I think women definitely can express more. So, because they need to express more as well because they have that emotional imbalance that happens more often every month too.
True.
So does that answer
Thank
to
you.
your?
Absolutely. I think Satishri would reply, but I think it resonates a lot to the question that you answered. And Aparna, hi Aparna, good to see you. She says that agree with the energy aspect, Jayshree. Anyone who can embrace their femininity can be sensitive to others. I think brilliant point. Well, some Shalaka says, I would like to be seen as human and not as gender. So a human with capability and possibility to reach full potential. I agree to that totally in a whole way. Yeah. So, so just as everyone is here, maybe mindful about the time, but maybe my last question that I cannot stop. But I would like to ask you maybe, what is that one message or permission you would like to give yourself today in regards to mental health? I would like to check with Sheelaa first, and then Pallavi, Jayshree, Shraddha, and then Christina.
Sure, Paras. So on this, these are Navratri days. So on this occasion of Navratri times, I would like to read out some lines that I have written here. I
Sure.
would like to remind myself I am a strong woman who feels deeply and loves fiercely. Her tears flow just as abundantly as her laughter. I am a strong woman who is both soft and powerful, both practical and spiritual. I am the Shakti. I give myself permission to be me. Today, here on this platform, I would like to invite all the women to rise up and stand tall, to give yourself permission to be yourself. Pamper yourself, love yourself, accept yourself just the way you are, celebrate yourself. You are special. Go on a self discovery journey because the only journey is the journey within.
True.
Starting now.
Wow, Sheila, that was so powerful. And it's not just about the words; it's the feeling that you get in. And also, uh, so Saptishri says, "Thanks, Sheelaa. Yes, you rightly said it. Yeah, and yeah. So over to Jayshree.
Oh, okay. Incidentally, even I have something to recite, but that's not something I have written. I'm quoting Maya Angelou. Uh,
Okay.
so, yeah, so a woman in harmony with her spirit is like a river flowing. She goes where she will without pretense and arrives at her destination prepared to be herself and only herself. So I think that's my message to everybody and message to myself too.
That was so power pack. Yeah, you said it so beautifully. Yeah. Yes, Pallavi.
Yeah. Thanks, Paras, and it was really good, Sheila and Jayshree. That was really motivating for me. Uh, as I said earlier, I would like to say that it's okay to have emotions, and we should acknowledge that we have emotions, and let's acknowledge it. And it's okay to take help. So I think these two messages I would like to give it to myself.
Thank you, Pallavi. That was
Yeah.
brilliant.
Yeah.
Shraddha.
Yes, so the one message that I would like to state is, we live in a technology age today. I think it is also important to connect physically with people, meet people, share your experiences, thoughts, emotions, so that you receive help when you need it. So it's important to talk. I think that's the first step. Apart from awareness that we create about the subject, I think it's important to talk. So I urge everyone to just open up, make friends, and talk. Yes.
I think the
Thank you.
talk therapy or the talk conversation really works because it's about sharing. I still remember the movie Castaway. I did not have
Absolutely.
the actor really talked about that we need to communicate, otherwise we create something to communicate. So that was one of the very powerful thing. There are so amazing messages that we're receiving here. I received from Kathy. It's a very long message, but just want to share with it. From amazing panel, this came to my mind. Phenomenal women, Maya Angelou, pretty women, wonderful. The secrets
Yeah.
lies. I'm not cute. I build
Yeah.
up to the fashion model. Why mine? It's a long message.
Oh, yeah. That's a wonderful quote, actually.
Yes, thank you,
Yeah.
Kathy. And Shalaka says, wonderful, Sheila. And Siley says, let's celebrate the journey within, lovely expressed. And Aparna says that women by nature are nurturers, but there comes a time she needs to stand up and say no, even to the loved ones. Once that conflict that was Jayshree brought in the room, once that conflict within to make that choice can be very stressful. Where does she draw the line and how can she see through that? So brilliant, brilliant. And I think it's a very long, Kathy. I'm going to read it and I'm going to ensure the rest of the people also to read that later in the conversation. So Christina, would you like to say your thoughts on the same?
Yes, I can only agree with the rest of the panel. My invitation to women is to give themselves permission, first of all, not to be okay. It's okay not to be okay. And we don't have to be perfect. We don't have to do it all ourselves. We are allowed to feel tired. We are allowed to be in pain. We are allowed to have a break. So let's give ourselves permission also to ask for help, like my colleague said, when we need it. And in order to know when we need it, let's allow ourselves to look within, to look at ourselves, to pay attention to ourselves, so that we are aware of our needs as they arise at any given time. If we are aware of our needs, then we can attend to them, we can meet them, and continue our journey onwards, stronger, healthier, more balanced, happier in our skin.
Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you so much once again. So maybe what comes to my mind is we at Tava-mitram celebrate the different avatar of women. She's an Annapurna, the goddess of food and nourishment. Lakshmi, the goddess of wealth and prosperity, as well as Saraswati, the goddess of knowledge, and also Ma Durga, who knows how to take care of inner demons and external demons around her. She sometimes needs to be reminded, or rather, needs to be reminded, or rather, she needs to remind herself that she doesn't need any validation from anyone. She herself is a powerhouse of vivid, vibrant energies. So for
इंटरनेट
me, every woman,
ह्याच्यावर गेलो, वायफायवर गेलो, त्यामुळे गेलो.
sorry, Sheelaa, are you speaking something? Yeah. So I think for me, every woman is in a form of Adi Shakti, the energy of creation. We all owe tremendous amount of respect, love, care to every woman who unconditionally sacrifices her needs over others. So, so would request each of the panel members now to give their concluding remarks as we move to the closure of our session. Maybe I would like to start first with Pallavi, moving to Sheelaa, then Christina, Shraddha, and Jayshree.
Um, Thank you, Paras, and thanks for giving me an opportunity to be in this, wonderful platform, and also with the lovely panelists. I really like the energy which everybody brings to this platform, and I'm really sure that all our females who are looking out for this, they must be reaching out to us and taking help. And again, I'm saying the same thing, that it's okay to take help, and please reach out to us to take help, and we are there for you.
Thank you, Pallavi. Christina.
Wow, I'm so honored and inspired being here today. Thank you so much. There's so many things I could say. I want to speak to the feminine in all of us, not just women, but the feminine in all of us. I want to say, accept and embrace yourself, body, mind, and spirit. Honor yourself and your highest potential. You are beautiful, you are strong, you are a light in the darkness of our world. Dare and shine that light. Believe in yourself, support yourself, and love yourself no matter what. And for the warrior women out there, as a warrior woman, you have a choice. So choose your battles.
Wow.
That's it from me. A lot of love and respect to all of you. Thank you so much.
Lovely. I would also like to say, Christina, women are a lighthouse, full of energy and vibrant. Okay, so let me check with Shraddha.
Firstly, I would like to start by saying thank you to you, Paris, to have me here today and share this virtual platform with a very distinguished and accomplished group of women. So thank you for that. Thank you, Ekktaa, for introducing me. And so the message that I would like to say is, a lot of people say wellness or mental wellness, focusing on it is expensive, right? I would say to them, try illness. That's even more expensive, So it's important that you spend money, time, energy, focus on mental well-being. It costs less, definitely.
Beautiful point, Shraddha. Thanks for highlighting and bringing that space here. Thank you. Jayshree?
Right, of course. Thank you. Thank you for having me here. It was a wonderful experience. And I would just like to say that I just love the name Tava-mitram because mitra or friend is such a powerful, wonderful word. And I think my message to all of us would be, can we be our own best friend first? And then, of course, offer ourselves, the friendship space. And then, of course, to others as well.
Thank you, Jayshree, and again, thanks for spending this wonderful time empowering women and men to harness their energies and care for themselves. And also, happy birthday to you once again. May
Thank you.
bless you with a lot of happiness, care. Sheelaa, any last comment from your end before we hand it over to Ekktaa? Yes.
Yeah, sure, Paras. So today, when we are talking about mental health for women, I would like to mention a quote by Glenn Close. And what he says is, what mental health needs is more something.
Yeah, I think Sheelaa is going through a little network issue, but nevertheless, it's such a wonderful thing. So first of all, I would like, okay, so is she joining? Okay. Sheelaa, can you join in? Okay, go ahead.
Yes, so I have major issue today with
It's
the
all
internet.
right. It's all right. The energy is very vibrant, Sheelaa. Don't worry about it. You're
Yeah,
amazing.
that thanks for that. So I would like to repeat again. So what mental health needs?
Okay, so
Okay.
we are struggling with Sheelaa as a whole, but nevertheless,
Network health is not good.
yeah, network health is not good today. Yeah, that is not good every many places since the
Yeah.
lockdown. Okay, so first of all, I would like to share my sincere gratitude to all my panel members for your valuable time, contributing your thoughts, your skills, your time, and helping Tava-mitram to raise mental health awareness. We at Tava-mitram highly value your contribution. So, Ekktaa, you there back in the room? Yeah, I know you're listening and enjoying a lot of conversations. So, over to you.
For the first time, Paris, I felt so envious that I'm not moderating this particular session with you. Seriously. Just a short message to everyone. As a co-founder of Tava-mitram, I feel so honored, I feel content rich, and I feel emotionally full today. All of you wonderful women, the way you have created such a warm, vulnerable, and a very powerful space today. As an audience, I was observing, I was in the flow of the conversation, I would say. I felt really connected. I felt very, very meaningful today. So I love the energy that you all brought on this platform. And yes, like Paris mentioned, your contribution of your time, skills, thoughts, it's absolutely valuable to me, to Dr. Paris, and all the team members of Tava-mitram. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Just a quick one. Now I'll get back to our audience. I would say if you haven't signed up for a My Mental Health, My Priority campaign, then register yourself on the link shown on the screen. It is a free certification program. You can access it on the website that is www.tavamitram.org. And it is very much available on the screen. And yes, if you want to join our team, if you want to contribute your time, your skills with Tava-mitram, then you can become a global Mitra volunteer today. All you have to do is go on our website and you can click on join us and you can be a part of our team as a volunteer. I believe you can see it on the screen as well. Thank you so much. And in case of any queries and questions, you can email it to us on info@tavamitram.org. I repeat, info, info@tavamitram.org. And yes, we have series of panel discussions this month, and tomorrow we have a wonderful discussion about mental health global perspective. So it's a personal invitation from Dr. Paris and me. Please join us live tomorrow at 8 p.m. So we look forward to your presence tomorrow in the evening. Thank you so much. And for more updates on this drive, please follow us on our Facebook page and Insta handle Tava-mitram. And alternately, you can also subscribe to our YouTube channel, Dr. Paris. So that's all from mine. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you. Namaste.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, everybody. See you. Bye bye.
Bye.
See you. Bye-bye.